Okay. Awesome. We are good to go.
Yay. Okay, so for those of you that are just joining now, thank you and welcome. Hi, Benjamin. It's so great to see you. Welcome, Modesto Chamber. Hello. Is there anybody else I missed? Nope. Okay, wonderful. So welcome. My name is Margie Malik. I am the Kindness Certified Company Director, and I have the honor of working with Jill McManigal, our founder and Executive Director for Kids for Peace, and Brett Schanzenbach, the Carlsbad Chamber of Commerce executive who helped us pilot the Kindness Certified Chamber and the Kindness Certified Company program. We are going to start today by introducing all of you. We want to hear about you. So we're just going to, I'll call on you and you can state your name, your chamber, and your role in the chamber, because I know many of you have your incredible team here to learn about the Kindness Certified Chamber program and how we can spread more kindness and joy in our communities and uplift our communities with this wonderful opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and call on Jill. I know you're not part of a chamber, but Jill, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, good morning. I'm Jill McManigal. I'm the co-founder and executive director of Kids for Peace, and we are the nonprofit that is hosting the Kindness Certified program. So I'm delighted to have you and be here with you today.
And Asha Moore.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm also thrilled to get to know you this morning. I heard about the amazing conference, and I'm so also grateful that you think kindness is something that we should really dedicate our time, resources to, that we can come together in this way and really make an impact. So I applaud you for that. I'm grateful. And I, as a program director of Kids for Peace, I will be supporting you, hopefully with bringing the program to a big success within your chambers. So thank you.
Thank you, Asha. Asha is, she is the incredible mastermind behind all of our systems that we have in place. And she is an incredible gift to Kids for Peace and the world, because she is helping us scale what we're doing on a global level. So Asha, thank you so much.
Excited to do it. Thank you.
Let's go to Brett.
Good morning, everybody. Brett Schanzenbach, President and CEO of the Carlsbad Chamber of Commerce. I'm excited to be here, just sharing this great program and good news, and looking forward to seeing it spread all over the country and the world.
Thank you, Brett. Bethany.
Hi, I'm Bethany Davies. I'm with the Big Sky Chamber of Commerce in Big Sky, Montana. I am the Workforce Development Coordinator.
Thank you, Bethany, all the way from Montana. Hannah and Guest.
Oh, good. We're not muted. I'm Hannah with the Puyallup Sumner Chamber of Commerce, and I'm the Chamber Services Coordinator. And this is...
Hi, I'm Deanna Largent. I am so delighted I got to meet all of you at WACE. And I have my pledge every morning on my computer. So I am the Business Development Director, and so thrilled to be a part of this amazing journey. Thank you.
Thank you. What a wonderful introduction. Nyla.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Nyla Spare. I am not a chamber, but I am a member of two chambers, both Carlsbad and San Marcos, and I'm a proud Kindness Certified Company. I'm also proud to be on the board now for Kids for Peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Nyla. Susan.
Good morning. I'm Susan Wong Ross from the Yorba Chamber. We're out here in SoCal and Northern Orange County, and I'm excited to hear more on what we can do.
Thank you, Susan. Shannon.
Good morning. My name is Shannon, and I'm with the Sandy Area Chamber of Commerce in Oregon. And I actually run a business recovery center program out of the chamber. And so our executive director, Chris, learned about this at the conference and is pretty excited. I think she's still going to try to jump on, but I came in early so that I could hear about it for the chamber.
Oh, great, Shannon. Thank you so much. Welcome. And I'm very excited to call on the next person who was the very first chamber to sign up at the WACE conference, Benjamin.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Benjamin. I'm with the Greater Kings County Chamber of Commerce. I'm the CEO. And I would like everybody to join me actually in a round of applause for all of the women in business leadership today, as it is International Women's Day. So thank you so much for your dedication and service to the industry.
Happy International Women's Day. I love that. Thank you so much. Trish.
Hi, good morning. I'm Trish Christensen, President and CEO of the Modesto Chamber of Commerce. I love that we're kind of like the chamber group through conference that are early adopters of this program. The other box you see on here, Modesto Chamber, I've got 4 of my staff in the conference room. Our camera didn't come on, but I got 4 of my team in there ready to pick up this and run with it along with all of you. So thank you for having us this morning.
Wonderful. Thank you. And Modesto Chamber staff, thank you so much for being here. We all know that you are the people on the front line making this happen. So thank you for being here. And Trista.
Hi, good morning. I'm Trista Borrego. I'm the interim president and CEO with Northwest Douglas County Chamber and Economic Development Corporation. We're just south of downtown Denver in Colorado, about 15 miles. So I'm excited to be part of this, to meet you all at WACE. And I am fighting the flu and a sinus infection, hence my video not being on, because nobody needs to see what's going on here. But looking forward to learning more.
Trista, we hope you feel better real soon. And thank you so much for your commitment to be here, even when you're not feeling well. Thank you so much. And Callie.
Hi all, I am Callie Asham with the Helena Area Chamber of Commerce in Helena, Montana. And I apologize, I can't get my video to work at all. So that is why you can't see me, but we are so excited to be a part of this. I feel like we need it now more than ever.
I completely agree, Callie. Thank you so much. Yes, we get to be the trailblazers, bringing kindness back into business. So again, thank you so much for being here. And I believe that was everyone. Hey, hi, Chris. Are you our Modesto team?
No, I was Sandy area as well as Shannon.
Oh, your Sandy area with Shannon. Oh, Chris. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself. Oh, so that's it, Chris.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that.
Okay, so Chris Jones with Sandy Area Chamber of Commerce, all the way from Oregon, right?
Right.
Okay, well, thank you. All right, let's go to the next slide.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that if you have any questions as we go through the slides, please feel free to ask, or if you want to put the question in the chat, we will kind of keep an eye on that too, and get those answers as we go. So I'm excited to get all the questions. Thank you.
Okay, so Jill, our beloved co-founder and executive director of Kids for Peace, will guide us through our history.
Yes, good morning again. We just wanted to give you a brief history so you understand the foundation of the Kindness Certified Company program, where it came from. So as I mentioned, we are Kids for Peace. We're the charity that puts on, the nonprofit that puts on the Kindness Certified Company program. And it all started with the Great Kindness Challenge. That's our biggest program that we started back in 2011. We started it with 3 schools in Carlsbad, California. And it's actually my children's school and a couple of neighboring schools. And it's a week of kindness where students get a checklist, 50 acts of kindness. They're challenged to complete as many acts of kindness as possible in that 1 week. And then there's lots of other complementary activities that the schools do to really elevate the kindness experience. And so it started with 3 schools in 2011. And this last year is our 12th year. And we had 39,000 schools. We had 19 million students, all 50 states and 115 countries that participated. And so it's really been this phenomenal movement that's happened. Schools really understand the importance of kindness, and the impact that kindness can have in the culture that they're creating. And so since we've had such great success in schools and had such a big impact in schools, and since we started having so many businesses that were supporting the schools, and since we're a member of our Carlsbad Chamber, we put it all together that we really needed to now expand from the schools into the business world. And it very organically happened. And we had the idea, because we give every school that participates a Kindness Certified School designation. So once they complete the Great Kindness Challenge, they are designated as a Kindness Certified School. And they really loved that because it should let them show the community that they value kindness, and that's something that they are upholding year round. And so when we saw how powerful it was to have that designation and how it really lifted all that they do for the students' social emotional well-being and in their standing in the community, we thought, wouldn't that be so great if we can expand that, extend it into the businesses? And so we came up with the Kindness Certified Company program, and we pitched it to Brett, and he immediately got the value of it. And he's like, yes, let's do this, jumped in full force, more than we could have even imagined, because that's how Brett is. He really understands how we need to have that holistic perspective to communities. And this is a very important piece of that. So we launched the Kindness Certified Company program in 2021. So we're going into we've done 2 full cycles of it. So we're going into the 3rd year, and we always start everything in Carlsbad where we're based, try it out, get all the kinks out, and then we offer it to expand it out to the world. And that's how we did the Great Kindness Challenge, and that's how we're doing this program. And so that was our first foray to really offer it up beyond our local community. And when we were at the WASTE conference, that was our first time to really share it. And we were beyond thrilled with the how it was received by all of you. So we thank you. This is part of a huge kindness movement that we're all doing. And I'm just thrilled. So that's our history.
So we are all becoming Kindness Certified Chambers of Commerce. And so what does that mean? That means that we get to uphold the Kindness Certified Company values and aspirations. We get to act as a catalyst for kindness in the community. I love that. So when you're a catalyst for kindness, we are infusing our cities, businesses, nonprofits, and schools with kindness on a daily basis. We help elevate the role of kindness in business and propel the kindness movement forward. And we identify and recognize kindness certified companies. So we all know so many of our businesses that do lead with kindness and do give back to our community. And so we really want to celebrate, recognize, and nominate them to become kindness certified. So what are the benefits that our companies will receive? What will the benefits that our chambers will receive? So you all received a Kindness Certified Chamber of Commerce seal when you signed up at the conference. And we also sent you the electronic copy that you are free to share far and wide on your signature, place it on the front of your door. I love going to the Carlsbad Chamber because their Kindness Certified Chamber seal is right there on the front door. Your logo placement is now on the Kids for Peace website, and we will also be linking your logos to your website. So anybody who comes to the Kids for Peace website can see your chamber and click to see your website as well. You will receive recognition in social and mainstream media. Mostly this is done right now on LinkedIn. So I have started to follow all of you on LinkedIn, and we invite you to follow Kids for Peace and Kindness Certified Companies so we can support you and promote anything that you're doing with your chambers. You will receive a toolkit. You did receive a toolkit to promote the Kindness Certified Company program. This is a turnkey toolkit. Everything you need is right there for you to easily set up the Kindness Certified Company program. You will, so part of that toolkit is the Business Edition Kindness Checklist to promote kindness in the workplace among all your chamber members. This is really fun to do. The last week of January every year is when the Great Kindness Challenge is happening in schools. So imagine businesses and schools uniting together and completing the 50 acts of kindness. And then a $5 donation for every company that signs up will be donated to your chamber, and we will give you a check once a year for those donations for you to use for any scholarship programs or special community programs that you have. Any questions for that piece, for the benefits? Okay. All right. So kindness certified companies, what is a kindness certified company? They are good to their people. They give back to their community. They care about the planet and take action to recycle. And they have compassion for the world. So be good to your people. When a kindness certified company signs up, they commit to aspire to live by these principles. So they embrace diversity, inclusion, and equity. They communicate with respect and kind words to their employees, to their clients, to their businesses. And they celebrate and honor one another. Imagine if the whole world was like that, where we're all good to each other and speak with respect and kindness and honor each other. They support their community. They make an annual donation of any amount to a nonprofit serving serving their local community. And they volunteer for at least one community service project a year. I know many businesses offer opportunities for employees to volunteer. So that's what it looks like to take care of our community. Be kind to the planet, make environmentally conscious decisions, and take earth-friendly actions. Create a better world, create a kinder and more compassionate world by being that role model to their businesses, their staff, their community. Kindness certified company benefits. Associates their company with higher values and ideals. Young people in the workforce care deeply about social responsibility. So becoming kindness certified elevates their company with those higher values. They receive a kindness certified company seal, hard copy and electronic, and a certificate that looks just like this to share far and wide. Increase exposure by being featured on the Kids for Peace and their chamber's website. We'll get into that a little bit more specifically, how you can do that. Reinforces their positive branding. Helps improve organizational culture. We'll talk a little bit more about that, how specifically. Builds relationships and connects them with like-minded companies. Who wouldn't want to work with a kindness certified company? Helps attract and retain talent. Who wouldn't want to work for a kindness certified company, right? And then accelerates the kindness movement and helps uplift humanity. And we're going to hand it over to Jill to talk about why is the KCC program so important.
Thank you. Yeah, we have already been touching on this this is the time that we really need to rise up together and lead with kindness. And it's just a crucial time in our society, in our history, and just kindness is a way that can really unite everybody. Doesn't matter what their political background is. It doesn't matter what their religious background, their socioeconomic status. Kindness is that great unifier. And it's a great starting place that we can have those discussions with respect and that we can have the opportunity to support each other out of some basic decency there. And when we agree upon kindness, it gives us a really nice starting place to have a society that works for everybody. And I'll pass it on to Brett now, because specifically for businesses, there's so many benefits for kindness in businesses. So Brett, do you want to carry that on of why you believe kindness is important?
Sure. Thanks, Jill. You know, when we were doing the introductions and I think it was Callie said, we need this now more than ever. That's exactly the way we felt when Jill and Asha approached us back in 2020. We were just coming out of all the social unrest besides COVID and then the George Floyd situation. And so we felt like, oh yes, this is the time to bring kindness into corporate America. And for the, for chambers, we've already seen benefit by promoting this program. We've had companies that are like solopreneurs and really small companies who say, yes, I want to be associated this way, all the way up to large manufacturing companies who have kindness in their culture and love that this gives them like a third-party validation way to, certify that this is important to them and this is what they want to be about. So it's been very interesting to see how our membership and potential membership has responded to this initiative over the last almost 2 years since we launched. As has already been said, companies that have this in their culture love the fact that they can use this to broadcast it. And so you're not just taking their word for it, it gives them some third-party validation. So we've seen some great responses from all different sizes of businesses, and we're very excited to see this now grow into more chambers, both here in San Diego County and now all over the West.
Thanks, Brett. Oops, Margie, you're unmuted.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you, Jill and Brett, for sharing the importance of the why. It's so important to bring kindness back into business and into our chambers and communities. Now we have a wonderful example of a kindness certified company. So I'd like to reintroduce Nyla Spear from Calder Eames.
Thank you, Margie. Would you just like me to give a little bit of my testimonial? I just wanted to mention, unlike a lot of the kindness certified companies that have signed up, I am a very small company. It's just my husband and I were graphic designers here in North County, San Diego. So what this program means to me as a very small company is that I have this power to be an example in the community. So even though I'm a small company, I feel like I'm a connector in the community. Plus I have a pretty extensive corporate background, but I'm all about the reverberating effects that it means to be a kindness certified company. So, it starts with me. And I probably have the absolute smallest budget when it comes to a small business owner, but I still felt it was important to carve it out. And I plan to carve out that budget every year to support this program because I just continue to feel that it starts with me and that I can just continue letting it grow. And the funny thing is when I signed up almost 2 years ago, I think I might be considered one of the founding companies. I saw I don't consider myself a visionary, but I kind of saw this day. I remember Brett and Jill and the team presenting this program. And I think I was kind of a visionary at that moment, imagining this day when there would be other chambers part of this amazing, movement or whatever, we want to call it. And so I'm proud to be a member of 2 local chambers here in North County, San Diego. And it's so thrilling to have you all here and to see that how quickly it's going to have that reverberating effect because you made that decision to join yourself. So thank you.
Thank you, Nyla. And Nyla truly does embody all 4 of our values, and she shares it with everyone she meets. Everyone sees how kind she is. And when she sees other companies leading with kindness, she is very supportive and invites them to join our corporate kindness initiative to become that kindness culture catalyst. So thank you, Nyla, for who you are. Thank you for having the vision and the foresight to become kindness certified and be on our board of directors and really support our vision for humanity. So let's get down to the nitty gritty, right? So let's see how we can launch the kindness certified company program in 3 easy steps. Very simple. The first thing we do is we set up a web page on your chamber website to recognize the Kindness Certified companies. Number 2, we'll promote the Kindness Certified Company program to our chamber members. And number 3, welcome and recognize our Kindness Certified companies. We have one slide or a few slides for each one of these points on how to do it. And I am excited and honored to invite Brett to share his expertise and success with you and how he set it up. So Brett.
Okay, thank you. So we did set up a page on our website, and then Asha, do you want me to share mine real quick just to show them my page?
Yes, let me stop sharing and then hopefully you can.
Switching over. So we created a page on our top navigation right here. It says kindness, and obviously you don't have to do that. And to be honest, this could change in the future as our website gets updated. But I like it right here in our top navigation because it's bold and it just puts it right out there. But this page, it goes through what it means to be a Kindness Certified company. And all of this is, as Margie said, is in your toolkit. Everything's pre-done for you. Of course, you can edit it. You can do it your own way. All these graphics are in there. I think there's even an HTML code page pre-done for you if you just want to plug and play. Like, we're a WordPress website. So if that's you, you could do that. And so it tells them what it is, what you're committing to, and what they receive in return. But then what we did is we created this little slideshow down here where all of our chamber members who sign up to be Kindness Certified companies, their logos appear and link back to their website. And so we did this so that, you know, we could give them some extra love. This is one of the little extra things we do for them to showcase them and give them some exposure. I'm going to stop sharing and then Asha, have you jump back?
Perfect. Thank you. Yes, and just to reiterate, so in the toolkit is your main resource and guide, and you will have links to a shared cloud folder where you can find the text copy, the images, and the HTML template as well. So we invite you to check it out.
And you see here the Vista Chamber, their page that they created, similar. So you can kind of see that and again, this is just to make it easy. You can do it any way you want. We're just trying to make it very easy for chambers to implement this stuff, not make it hard. Because I know what your life is like, and I know how many great programs come your way, and yet you have a lot on your plate and we wear many hats. So this is just to make it easy, but not to be a straitjacket. You want to jump to the next slide? And then, of course, you know, I love it if we could just build a web page and they would all come and show up, but we know that's not reality. We could probably have an hour-long discussion of the great programs we've all set up and that so few people take advantage of, unfortunately. So then it comes down to just promoting. When we started this in 2021, we started with a webinar and you know, on Zoom, because that was still kind of the culture, at least in our part of California, it was. So we started with a webinar, and Nyla, who you just met, was on there along with other folks. And we just tried to get the word out. But since then, I mean, we've had Jill and Asha come and speak at events of ours. It's in our newsletter constantly. We did a podcast episode. So we have a weekly podcast. We did a podcast episode that to this day is still the most popular, most listened to episode of our entire history of our podcast. So I think we're up to like 75 episodes, and Jill was our guest in episode number 7. And to this day, it's the most popular episode we've ever had. So that was helpful and continues to be productive in getting the message out. Yes, we've done posts on social media. We have done lots of announcements at special events, but then, and we have a print publication to this day. So we have, of course, our normal e-newsletter. Our newsletter is electronic, but once a month we have a print publication. So we did an article in there. We've done one each year, but the challenge that I find is, like, you do all those things And then you got to come back and do all those things again and do all those things again, because it's just, you know, no matter how much we try and how hard we try, you know, people don't get it. So you're seeing here some examples from our friends Oceanside, which is my next door neighbor, their chamber, an article by their CEO, Scott Ashton. The San Marcos Chamber, which Nyla mentioned she's a member of. They have efforts that go out in their membership team, that when they go visit members of theirs, they talk about it, which is great. I don't think my team's doing that right now, so that's a good one for me to use. And here you see some sample posts. Again, these sample posts are in the toolkit, so everything's there to make it easy, and of course, so that you can tweak it and personalize it if you like, but it's ready to go for you. Yeah. This is new. I think this is Jill going to talk about this.
Yes. So we are, thank you, Brett, for that. Thank you. And we want to make it as easy as possible for you to promote it. And so something we just came up with, we're just launching this week, is a nomination process. We've been hearing from a lot of people that they want to be able to nominate a company who serve them, and whether it's a restaurant or a hair stylist or their accountant, whoever it is, people want to recognize companies who are leading with kindness. So as the program is right now, it's a self-certification program. So right now, it's a company that says, yes, we follow all of these values. We are, we live by, we're good for our people, our community, our planet, and our world. So yes, let's self-certify. But now we're expanding it so people can nominate companies who they recognize, and then we let that company know that they've been nominated, and then we invite them to certify, to become a kind of certified company. So this is something we're launching right now, and there's 3 steps to it. There's just a straight nomination where, as I mentioned, that we will let the company know they've been nominated and invite them to become self-certified. And I think one thing maybe we haven't pointed out so much here is that there is a $150 certification fee. So with that $150 annual certification fee, that money comes to support Kids for Peace and our programming and our Great Kindness Challenge. So just, so for full transparency there, we use that. And businesses can use that fee as a donation. They can use that fee as a marketing expense. There's different ways they can, whatever serves their company best. But there is a $150 fee. So if they're nominated, they can, someone who nominates them might not have $150 to cover their fee, so we just do a straight nomination. But if somebody wants to really gift maybe their hairdresser who's done an amazing job on their hair, they can cover that fee for them. So there's 3 buttons. There's one, just nominate. There's another one that's nominate and cover the fee. And then there's a 3rd button, which actually Nyla came up with this great idea. She came up with an idea for a pay it forward. And so that would be a kindness certified company that's on recognizing another company to be kindness certified. They nominate them, and then they pay their certification fee and invite them to find another company and go pay their certification fee. So then it's this beautiful ripple effect of businesses supporting businesses. So we are piloting this all hopefully this week. And it's just another tool for you to be able to get companies, get your companies certified. And we'll be giving you tools about how you can promote that also within your chamber. It will all live on our website, the nomination form. So you'll be driving people to the Kids for Peace Kindness Certified website. And then we will be letting you know once all those nominations roll in. One other area that we're going to really promote this, which we haven't so far, is with all of our Great Kindness Challenge schools. I can almost guarantee you that you have schools in your community that are part of the Great Kindness Challenge. And so we're going to be inviting them to nominate the companies that have already been supporting their schools, because almost every school has companies that support them during that week to become self-certified. And that will be part of this also. So stay tuned for a little bit more about information on how to promote it and all, but know that this is there for you.
Thank you, Jill. What happens when a new Kindness Certified company signs up? So when a company from your chamber signs up to become a Kindness Certified company, you will receive an automated email notification with the company's complete information. The email notifications coming from info@kidsforpeaceglobal.org. So please make sure that you allow that into your email and avoid the spam. Will be sent to the contact who signed up your chamber. If you want to change that contact, please let me know, and I can easily change that contact so that that person gets the email. Oh, that was the next one. The new Kindness Certified company's logo will be shared with you through a cloud folder. We have a shared cloud folder with your state's name. And so just click on that, and then underneath that will be your chamber's name, and click on that, and then that's where your logos will be. Step 3, welcome and recognize Kindness Certified companies. Brett, back to you.
So when we get those emails from from Kids for Peace that a new company has signed up, we do a few things right away. Well, let me tell you the different things we do for them, and then tell you what we do right away. But we will go ahead and put this Kindness Certified logo you see here in the bottom right corner of Asha's slide. We put that in their business directory, their online version of the business directory. And when somebody signs up as a Kindness Certified company with us, we also look at their profile on our website, and we're like, okay, have they done a good job of kind of filling it out and linking their social media and putting their own logo? And if they haven't, we'll do that. We'll beef it up, and we'll go out to their website and grab verbiage from their About Us page and make sure any social from their website is linked to our profile. So we make sure that they are taking advantage of what's available on our end if they haven't yet. And if they have, which is great, then we add the Kindness Certified logo that you see here in the bottom right-hand corner. And then we still, at the Carlsbad Chamber, once a year produce a printed business directory. I know some chambers don't anymore, but we do that once a year. And so every Kindness Certified company that's a member of ours, in the printed directory, we put like a little red heart logo next to their name, or a little red heart icon next to their name, so that as you're flipping through, you see all these little red hearts periodically through it. Those are all the Kindness Certified companies. And so that's on our business directory, the printed business directory. I already showed you how they're on our webpage. Their logo goes there. And then social media, you see this little example in the bottom left. This is from the Oceanside Chamber. They're doing a great job of doing a shout out to each company as they come on board as a certified kindness company. We haven't done that as well as some of our neighboring chambers. So that's actually something we're going to do better as we grow the program. But that's a great idea, giving some social media love. And of course, as you guys know, when you do that, link to them and make sure they notice that you do it and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we do stuff on the web, in print, and our business directory, and then social media. And so when I get the email from Kids for Peace, I send a personal email to the company welcoming them and thanking them for becoming a Kindness Certified company. And when I do that, you can see that little sample there of one of my emails. I put a direct link to our page where their logo is now listed, after I add them, of course. And then I also give them a direct link to their listing on our business directory to show them how we've added their Kindness Certified logo. And like I said, sometimes we've greatly beefed up their presence on our website as well. So we give them a link to that, and that comes from me. And then, as I was saying earlier, these programs are great, and it's great to do a big launch, but then you're constantly needing to come back and relaunch, so to speak. And one of the things we did at the conclusion of our first year, I mentioned we have a print publication that's basically monthly. So at the end of our first year, we ran this ad that you see here on this screen with the logos of all our kindness certified companies that had signed up in the first year. So that was a full page ad, and that was another way of giving them recognition for you know, being a kindness certified company in our community. Then the other thing we did at the end of our first year, I know a lot of you are probably like us and you have some version of an award show or an award event, luncheon, dinner, whatever. We do an award luncheon once a year. And of course, just like you guys, there's awards for all kinds of things. And so we decided with Jill and Asha and Margie to create a Kind Company Inspiration Award. And so at the end of our first year, Kids for Peace does a process. They will invite all the companies that have signed up to go through and document how they have lived out being a Kind certified company. So it's just them filling stuff out on their own. And then Jill and Asha and Margie reviewed them, and they told us, based on how these companies certified themselves, we determined this company is the Kind Company Inspiration Award winner for Carlsbad. So we did a video at our award show to honor the first recipient. And that video, I'll share it in the chat. So if you wanted to actually watch it later, it actually ended up being a long video for us. Most of the videos we do at our award show are like 2.5 minutes. This one ended up being 4 minutes, but we thought it was so important. We didn't want to shortchange the message. And because it was the first one, it was also like a new way of getting the word out about this whole program. So we did that. That was last May. And one of the things that was really interesting, we had a new business from Carlsbad that had just opened its doors about 6 months, 8 months before. It's like a manufacturing company with about 350 employees. And they were at that award show. They had been nominated for like Large Business of the Year. They didn't win, but they saw that video and they were so excited. Like their engagement with us ramped up. We now have a board member on our board from that company. They're kindness certified. They just loved it. So, and we had several companies that signed up after the award show because they found out about it through that award and that video. So that was something we did. And I put it in the chat if you want to take a look at it. This picture on the right is from my neighbors just up the coast from me in Oceanside. And they have this whole celebrate kindness by surprising people who have certified. And so they went out and were surprising one of their kindness certified members. I have not done that yet, but I love the concept. And it's another great thing there.
Yeah, and quick question here from Bethany. Yes, the slides and the recording will be available to everyone after the call. So thank you.
Thank you. And that was such perfect timing, Brett, that you talked about the Kind Company Inspiration Award. Wait, can you go back, Asha, for just 1 second?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because the Kind Company Inspiration Award recipient just joined our call. So hi, Chris Ryan.
You there?
Oh, can you? There we go. Do you have a minute to just introduce yourself and
Yeah,
share?
sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm on my phone because I had to be out of the office to take this call. But greetings to everybody on the call. And if you're a new chamber to this program, it's very exciting. And I know for me as a business owner and also coming from a marketing and advertising background, I felt that as a business, you're always trying to find a way to differentiate yourself. You have a lot of competitive businesses in your chamber, and people are always trying to find a way with their core values or their branding or their brand position. How do we make our company stand out? And I can't think of a better way to stand out than to have some ethical and environmentally responsible code of ethics to live by and let people know that you're a business that adheres to that. So I I was really glad to become a kindness certified company. Had no idea that you guys are going to sneak that award in. It just happened because we self-certify at the end of every year. And that's the judging process that took place. So anyway, I think it's a good move from a business standpoint, as well as just to support and push this kindness movement, which needs to go throughout schools, business, everywhere.
Thank you, Chris. That was awesome. And congratulations again on being the winner of the Kind Company Inspiration Award last year. Community involvement, Jill.
Yes, thank you again. So part of the benefits of becoming a Kindness Certified Chamber is supporting your community and giving you more ways to support your community, additional ways to do that. So as part of the Kindness Certified Company program, we really encourage all of our companies and the chambers to be part of the Great Kindness Challenge movement that we have. And as mentioned, the Great Kindness Challenge Week is the last week of January, but we have programs that go year round with that. So we invite you to be part of the Great Kindness Challenge and supporting your local schools. And there's different ways to do that. You can, we have community kindness tunnels. And so we invite you to come to your school and help greet and cheer on the students as they are kicking off their Great Kindness Challenge Week. There is an opportunity to be an esteemed guest at the Great Kindness Challenge kickoff assemblies or rallies that many, many schools do. Schools often have kindness recess stations, and you can be part of volunteering there to help the students complete all of the acts of kindness on their checklist, on their kindness checklist. You can create happy posters and positive signs to decorate the local schools for the Great Kindness Challenge Week. You can provide incentives for students to recognize their kindness. Schools might give out Kindness Matters pencils or bracelets or special popsicles, so you can help to support that. You can help judge a school's kindness contest. Many schools will do essay contests or door decorating contests or Spirit Day contests, so they're often looking for judges for that. And you can partner with your school to complete a community service project. So many schools take this week to really uplift and elevate their service within the community. So you can partner with them on that. And we're still kind of figuring out how we're going to let all of the chambers match up with the schools as we're growing this. We will get this figured out. But right now we can pretty much guarantee, as I mentioned, that there are schools in your community that are participating. It's almost like 1 in every 5 students now is part of the Great Kindness Challenge. So there's a good chance that they're part of it. So it could be whether if you're a smaller chamber, smaller city, that you could just call out to the schools themselves and ask if they're participating. If not, you can invite them to participate and say you want to do that together. Or we're working on other ways to let you know who is participating. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Asha.
Yes, I see questions coming out, and I know Trish and now Bethany asked about is there a list on the website, and whether, how do they find out about the specific schools in their communities? So yes, we do obviously track all of the schools that are participating. So we just have to figure out a good way, an easy way for everybody to let you know what the schools are and how do we share the contact information. So we have to go through a little bit of making sure we can share that information. But we, again, it's a great opportunity to either invite the schools if they haven't been part of the Great Kindness Challenge, but with our super strong presence in California, we know we have schools in your communities that we will be able to connect you with. So we'll follow up on that, how we can do that. They're not all listed on our website because with 39,000 schools, there are a lot of schools. We're dreaming of a good interactive map, but we don't have the resources to finalize that yet. But with all the amazing support behind the Kindness Initiative for the businesses, hopefully those resources will become available so we can do that for you in an easy way. But we'll find a way to share that with you so you can reach out to your schools and support them during the Great Kindness Challenge Week.
Okay, thank you, Asha. Jill?
Yes, so during the Great Kindness Challenge Week, mentioned that it's all based on this 50-item kindness checklist. So as we launched the Kindness Certified Company program, we also launched the Great Kindness Challenge Business Edition so that your chamber and all of your companies can participate in actually doing acts of kindness during the week with the students. So they have their school edition. We actually also have a family edition. And now this business edition are just acts of kindness that you can do that are work-centered and work-focused on there. So this is also in your toolkit. You'll be able to get all of these resources for that. So just want to make sure that you know.
Thank you, Jill. Support. You can count on us. We will be here to support you through every step of the process. Whatever you need, I am available by phone. You can email me. So please reach out if you need to brainstorm ideas. We would be happy to spend some time with you figuring that out. Even if you want me to help meet with your team and your staff about how to do this, I am open and willing and will happily do that with you. Another exciting thing is that we provide bite-sized tips and helpful ideas on how to put the Kindness Certified Company values into action. So every week, usually on Monday, I send out the Kind Act of the Week. So we took the business edition checklist and we simply broke it down into one kind act a week. You can share this with your chamber staff, you can share it with your businesses and challenge everybody to complete that one kind act. So it's just a very small bite-sized thing that we can do to, improve our culture, infuse kindness through our culture and our business community. This is an example. So Kind Act of the Week, treat a coworker to lunch. And it's always comes with a fun fact. Eating with a coworker is good for team building, encourages bonding, supports well-being, and it's fun. So I send these out every week. Even if they don't have time to open the email, they can see the Kind Act in the subject line, which will plant a seed for them to be kind or to complete that Kind Act during the week. We will be hosting an annual inspirational chamber executives gathering in Julian at Shambhala, which is Jill's beautiful place up in Julian. She'll be sending out a data doodle poll coming soon so we can gather together in Julian for a nice little retreat. And
Margie, can I just to say, we weren't planning on doing this, but after meeting all of you, I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are so cool. Like I want them to be able to all come together, and selfishly, I want to spend more time with all of you. So I do have a new home in Julian, little mountain town in San Diego County, and would love to. We'll be all coming together for some fun.
Yay. And then we will also celebrate and support you and give you some LinkedIn love. We will go ahead and do a warm welcome slide for you on LinkedIn, and we will like your posts and share your posts as well, just to give you a little bit more promotional value. Questions. What questions do you have at this time?
Yes, I think we went through most of the questions in the chat. So
okay. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so Jill, is there anything else that you wanted to add?
I just want to offer my hugest heartfelt gratitude to you and thanks to you for bringing this to your communities, for expanding this kindness movement into the workplace. It's huge what you're doing. People before thought kindness was a soft skill, and we now find that we have to really get serious about kindness. And this is a way to do that. That kindness is so important. It is something that is just good for everyone. And I'm very, very thankful to you. Brett, do you want to say any closing words?
Oh, we're just excited to see this grow. And I had tons of faith in our industry that people would pick this up and run with it, because I know the heart of so many of you. I'm excited to see it get to that stage now where we're seeing it grow. I think we opened it here in San Diego County to other chambers back in the summer, and then now to see it expand throughout the US is just great. So, and if there's anything I can do, like I'm an open book. I'll put I should have done that. I'll put my contact in the chat if anybody wants to talk through brainstorming ways to promote it or things like that. We are totally willing to help and brainstorm and then get ideas from you guys that you come up with that we hadn't thought of. So.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to reiterate the same idea that this is really, we're excited to take this next step to really expand it, but also learn and from you. This is how the Great Kindness Challenge has evolved over the years. We were sharing what the schools are doing, and it's always nice and fresh. And we are excited to have now, we all have amazing teams on your staff and talent. So we're just excited to kind of hear how you implement the program, how it can evolve, how we can all together make it better and make it easy, accessible, and just reap the benefits of all the kindness that's going to be taking place in our businesses and communities. So thank you for jumping on board.
Yes, thank you everyone so much for being here. You are the top 25 chambers in the country to become these kindness catalysts in our community. And we are filled with gratitude and grace and are humbled that you are joining us on this journey and propelling the kindness movement forward. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Take care. Thank you. Thank you again so much.
Thank you, Benjamin.
Guys.